Okay, this is what excites me about duck calling, is that when you get around somebody that has put the time in to learn all the things that we've gone over, and I'm not there yet. I mean, you've told me that, lots of people have. I'm trying to get there, but it takes a lot of work is my point. It's daily grind to become proficient, just like it is if you're going to be a musician, and that's what this is. It's a musical instrument. It truly is. I know that you grew up playing the recorder and the flute. It's kind of like the Yaws flute, you know, that Anchorman played.
I actually played the trumpet, to be honest with you.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Well, that's more of a puffy cheek.
Yeah.
Remember, we were trying to think of that trumpet player's name? It was Louis Armstrong.
Yep.
You kept saying Neil Armstrong because you're a space aeronautical kind of NASA guy, really smart kind of guy. So the quack.
Yeah.
We lengthen it, cut the time in between them. It becomes greeters. It becomes sequences and cadences of greeters. There's a couple different greeters we went over. Getting their attention, hitting it a little bit quicker with a finer duck, higher pitched, and then standing on it and pleading to them with that one first note, second note, maybe even the third note. Then we kind of shortened those quacks, and that became, you talked about the hiccup and moving that into the beginning and the basis and the foundation of the feed chatter, the feed chuckle. It's almost like guns. Buck Gardner always used to say it. You played guns when you were a kid.
Right.
You got the machine gun going. So now I'm picturing this marsh, the woods coming alive, and you can hear it when you find a raft of ducks and you're scouting and you're like, you're listening. I don't know if there's a cooler vocalization in the wild kingdom than mallard ducks.
No.
Hearing a wolf or a coyote howl or an elk bugle or a turkey gobble is awesome. But when you find a raft of ducks and they're all going nuts like that, it's tough to beat it.
It is.
It's like a symphony, man. Just symphony. It's like the guys up there just like this, and you just got all these freaking instruments going off. The horns, the clarinets, the strings, everything's wrong. I think the symphony's really just strings, but it's just powerful. I want you to show me what's up with that. We've gone over the sounds now. Now it's about mixing it in and sound realistic and letting that marsh of those woods come alive. Show me that a little bit. I'm going to join in after a little bit just so we can show a little bit of team calling and what it sounds when two guys are going about it. And then we're going to talk about how important it is of timing and not getting on top of each other. If one guy's doing a greeter, you don't need to be greeting at the same time.
Right.
You got to learn. The instincts tell you. That's just a waste of time. You're on top of each other.
Right.
It's like two pointing dogs. He's on his point. This one's respecting his point. He's not running in there and fletching the quail or the pheasant. You're going, meh, meh, meh. I hear you do that. I watching the ducks. Maybe I come in with the greeter right after that. So I'll come in after you and I'll do my best not to get on top of you. That kind of sounded weird. Yeah. I'll do my best not to interrupt your calling. But let's start. You start and let that marsh come alive.
Yeah, so what I'm going to start off doing is I'm actually going to start off something that I always hear in a raft of ducks. And that's, and he goes something like this. It's basically a boss hen, very commanding. All of a sudden, a flight of birds just come over the top. She saw him.
Well, that kind of sounds ducky.
Yeah.
I think it did in my ear. I mean, I'm not as trained as you. That sounded pretty darn good.
No,
didn't
it did.
It did.
And that's what it is. And one thing people need to understand is that if you mess up, somebody's going to fall over the top of you. So keep on calling.
Keep calling. Don't be afraid to bring your call into the woods. If you don't think you're as proficient as the other guys, don't call as much. Don't try to overpower them. Just get in where you fit in, know your seat on the bus, and don't quit practicing. The next time you come, when you're there, take 2 or 3 things out of the woods that day. Be a spun, be coachable, be teachable. The next time you go, people might be like, dang, Chris been working on his duck call a little bit now. That's what happened with me. Is like I'm welcome to call sometimes. I'm a host of a TV show, and for the first 8 seasons of the show, I wasn't allowed to call. I'd go into people's blinds and be like, you can host the show, but you ain't calling. Now I'm allowed to call a little bit. Even in Arkansas, which I never, ever in my wildest imagination thought that I would be allowed to call in Arkansas in the
Believe it
flooded
or
timber.
not, it's funny you say that. Actually, if you can learn how to blow a duck call and you're really, really good on a duck call, you won't have a problem with people inviting you anywhere.
I know lots
They
of people
want you
get
to
invited.
come, you
Yep.
know? So
I like that. That sounded good right there. So then we took the quack, we took the greeters, we took the feeding shadows, we put it all together. We did team calling. We talked about the hiccup. We talked about hand placement, mouth placement, lip placement, diaphragm, lungs, larynx, hot pressurized air, steaming up that window, cleaning off your Oakley sunglasses, whatever it takes. Go back and watch these tips again and study them and keep practicing them. Become fluent with this. Okay, that's what it's all about, is that you have to be able to become one with the jargon of the wild mallard duck. And that's what we do with our theme of our company, is that it's a specialized vocabulary amongst a group of people. As duck hunters, we speak it to each other, we speak it to our dog, and we speak it to the ducks. 3 different levels of jargon happen at every duck camp across America and Canada, wherever you're going. That's what I love about communication and being transparent. Being able to communicate with a wild mallard, green-headed duck, acting like a hen mallard is the coolest thing in the world to me. I love it. Appreciate the tips, buddy. We got one more. It's a little bit advanced. It's something that I haven't even gotten. We're going to end our tip segment for this season, and we're going to talk about what you've hit on over the last 4 or 5 tips, and that's the fine duck, the coarse ducks, the raspy duck, and the boss hen duck. We're going to go into that in our next tip. We're going to end it like that. Chris Cifrio, Jargon Game Calls. Let's talk about that next.
sounds good.